What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Elliott Delp, and today we're going to be talking about AR-15 pistols versus AR-15 rifles and which one's better for you. So let's get right into this video. So like I mentioned before the intro rolled, we're going to be talking about AR-15 pistols and rifles. And there's a lot going on in the gun industry today where it's a big debate on pistols, whether there should be SBRs, and all kinds of different nuances that are going on. And I feel like now would be a good time to make this video. I know there's 1,000 videos out there, but a lot of people are considering which one's best for them right now, so I'm hopefully going to help you guys in deciding that. So let's talk a little bit about what a pistol versus an AR-15 or AR-15 rifle is, and then we'll kind of go on to the pros and cons of each of them to hopefully get a better understanding of each of these platforms and what their uses are. So let's start out with pistols and kind of what makes an AR-15 pistol an AR-15 pistol. You might look at both of these and you might think they are very similar, they look a lot alike, and that's true, they do, but the distinct difference is the barrel length. So this one right here on the table has a 16-inch barrel. This classifies it as a rifle. This one right here in my hand has a 10-inch barrel, and that makes it a pistol because it doesn't have a stock on it. This has a stabilizing brace. If this pistol had a stock on it, it would make it a short-barreled rifle, thus making it illegal. It would also make it a short-barreled rifle if it had a vertical foregrip on it. That also makes it a short-barreled rifle, making it illegal. Whole rabbit hole of problems there. So that's essentially the biggest differences in the two in terms of classification. You won't find an AR-15 pistol with a 16-inch barrel. It's just not a thing. It's not possible. I've seen people put a pistol brace on a 16-inch barrel, and I'm kind of like, why on earth you do that? Kills me every time I see it. But I digress. So let's talk a little bit about the pros and cons of each of them, why you would pick a pistol and why you would pick a rifle. So let's dive right into the pros of the pistol. So obviously this is a lot smaller platform than the rifle. Let me pick a rifle up here. The rifle weighs probably a pound and a half, depending on your configuration, more than the pistol. It's heavier to carry, not as easy to maneuver, not as easy to use. The pistol's overall just a smaller package, smaller platform, and it's really comfortable to handle. Obviously, not being so heavy, you can carry it around a lot longer. It's a little bit easier to wield, whereas the rifle, being so much bigger, so much heavier, it's just not as easy to use, not as easy to maneuver, not as easy to go around corners and whatnot. So that's one of the drawbacks of the rifle and one of the pros of the pistol. So that's one of them. One of the pros of a rifle or a 16 plus barrel length is you get a little bit better velocity out of your rifle, or out of your firearm, I should say. If you're doing longer range shooting, you typically won't use a shorter barreled firearm. It's just not a very common thing to do. You get better velocity, your bullet will drop a lot less. You can really take your rifles and shoot good amounts of distance with the longer barrels. So if you're doing kind of like a longer range shooting, or any type of, I don't know, any type of longer range shooting, you typically go with a rifle because of the ballistic implications. So that's one of the pros for going with a rifle. Another pro with going with a rifle is they're typically, I preference this, typically they are a little bit less expensive. For the most part, depending on what you get, rifles can run around $600 to $1,000, and so can pistols, but you'll very rarely find a pistol on that lower end. You'll find all kinds of budget-ended rifles that hover around that $600, $700 range, and there's a lot of great options out there, but very rarely do you find a pistol that hovers around that range. You can find some $700 pistols, like the Radical Firearms, for example. That's one of them I have. Love the pistol, but that I would consider that a budget end, and it's right at the $700. I've bought Palmetto State rifles, Radical rifles for less than that. So that's one thing to consider. Price point, what you want to pay for. Another thing that you might be concerned about, like I mentioned earlier, is the news. So there's a lot of things going on legally with the pistol. The ATF's starting to reclassify pistols, and if you don't want to get involved with that, that's on you. But if the new rules come through and your pistol has a brace like this, it'll be classified as an SBR, and whether or not you abide by the laws, that's on you. But legally, you'll be responsible for registering it as an NFA item, which requires a $200 tax stamp. You got to get fingerprinted, a whole process. So if you want to avoid that, that's one of the reasons you might go with a rifle. Like I said, there are pros and cons with either of them, but that's a big con for a lot of people right now. Do I think it's right? No. Do I think it's a good reason to not buy a pistol? No. But I can see some people's concern in it. So that's another thing. And that's pretty much it. Essentially, they both work the same way. You're both getting a firearm that you can train with, use efficiently. There has been some debate on reliability out of pistols, especially when you get shorter barrels, but that's really circumstantial. Personally speaking, I really prefer a pistol. I like the ability for it to be lightweight. Pistols I have are very reliable. I'm very happy with them. I use a 6.5 Grendel pistol to do my whitetail deer hunting. I use this stag right here as my kind of like training weapon. And I also train with a rifle too, but I prefer the pistol just because of how comfortable it is and how easy to use it is. So I think that really about does it for the video. I really appreciate you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to hit the like and subscribe. Also, go leave a comment down below what you think, what you'd like to see next. I really appreciate it. So I think that about does it. As always, guys, I'll see y'all in the next one. Take one outdoors. Peace.